Welcome into the Analyst in the Armchair, an NFL podcast where one host is obsessed with stats and spreadsheets, and the other just really loves yelling at the TV on game day and has plenty of opinions. Together, Michelle and Nycole dive into player news, weekly matchups, and all the storylines you'll be talking about with your friends. Whether you're a hardcore or casual football fan, they've got something for you.
Welcome into the Analyst and the Armchair. I'm Michelle Majuk. This is Nycole Bernstein, the Armchair. I'm the Analyst. And today we're going to get into some quarterback discussions. We're going to talk about a few quarterbacks that we think will get better from last year, some that will get worse, and then some that will stay the same. But before we jump into that, I want to give your Spurs, who you're wearing right now, a little shout out. They're kicking butt.
Man, yeah, we should be done with this series, but yeah. I will not talk about how I think the NBA is a little rigged and that two of their series went 4-0, and so they feel the need to elongate this series. But I'm very proud of my boys. They look so good. They're so fun to watch. And
Wemby's so good.
I know I've made you a huge Dylan Harper fan specifically.
I made you a huge Dylan Harper fan.
He barely played during the regular season.
I know.
And now he's averaging a double-double in the playoffs. How was it?
Listen, I said they got to get Dylan Harper more involved. And once they did, he was so good.
Yeah, she says one thing that's right. And all of a sudden she's an NBA analyst or a Spurs analyst, I guess I should say. But anyway, no, I'm very proud of them and the way they're playing ball. And it's fun to be a Spurs fan.
If I didn't work in the NFL, the next sport I would choose would be NBA. For sure.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. I mean, MLB too. I feel like there's too much
in the MLB.
But like, it feels like job security.
Yeah.
Because there's so much.
That all the stupid rules or certain things don't count and some do and whatever. Like,
but just think of like the wealth of statistics that there are in baseball.
Like they really do. Yeah. I mean, I get it. Right. But like the errors sometimes I feel like it's babying the players or babying the pitchers because it's like, quarterbacks don't get the benefit of doubt when someone drops the ball. It's not like, oh, error, we're not going to count that against your stats.
Oh, well, don't you think it should?
I guess.
Don't you think there should be errors in NFL? So you just proved your own point.
Yeah, okay. You're right.
So that was silly.
Anyways, enough of other sports talk. This is an NFL show and an NFL show only. And we get the schedule release on Thursday night. So by the time you guys listen to this, you may already know the schedule. I love schedule release. I know we already know the opponents and everything, but we don't know the order. And that matters.
We heard the international games, I think came out today.
Yeah,
earlier. So am I going to go to London and watch the Texans play? Maybe.
I mean, that would be such a fun game.
I could.
I hate divisional games being internationally because they matter too much. And it's unfortunate that the Jaguars will be there a week prior to facing the Texans because they have another game. But
agreed.
Yeah.
It's an easy flight from Houston, so they should be okay.
There are some fun games internationally, starting with the Australia game, 49ers versus the Rams.
Yeah, that one's crazy fun.
Yeah. And then with all the 49ers injuries, of course, they have to travel to Australia. You know, they have to travel 38,000 miles this year, the most ever in NFL history in a single season.
Wow. That's so random.
The team that gets hurt so much.
The 49ers, that is.
They have two international games. One's Mexico, which isn't too far from them, but still, Australia is like the furthest place ever that you could go to.
Well, we'll have to talk a little more next week once we get the actual schedule and the order of things. But quick rant, go ahead about this Broncos and Chiefs game.
I hate when the schedulers, you have everything at your fingertips. You can make any decision you want. And there's some things that they decide on the schedule. It's like, why? So week 1, they put the Chiefs and the Broncos on Monday Night Football. And I guess Mahomes is trending towards being ready for the season. But why put that much stress on it? Because if I'm watching Justin Fields against that Broncos defense on Monday Night Football in week 1, when we're all just craving football still, I'm going to be so mad.
Is Bo Nix going to be back? Then
see exactly, yeah, he should be back. He should be.
But so it could be fun.
Two guys coming off of major injuries. It's like, why are you putting them primetime week 1?
Yeah,
and it feels like also trying to give the Broncos a free win, which I also hate the Chiefs. So
yeah, so we're not like super mad about that, but I agree with you. I think but somebody's got to play somebody week 1.
I guess, but I also had high hopes that the Chiefs would be in primetime less than they have been recently, because I feel like every week it's like, okay, gotta watch Patrick Mahomes and this offense again.
Right.
Every week. And now it's already starting week 1. We'll see how many games they get.
Well, maybe we just get that one out of the way, and then next week we'll rant.
I'm sure they'll still give them 6 to 7 primetime games. But yeah, we'll talk more about the schedule release next week. Let's get into some quick NFL news, nothing earth-shattering, but some things I want to talk about. And then we'll jump into the thick of it with the quarterback discussion.
The opening drive.
Okay. The Jets officially did it. They paid the running back for no reason. Breece Hall gets an extension with the Jets, which he seems very happy about, very sweet. He said it's the best day of his life. Great. Like, I'm really happy for the kid. I personally, if I was Breece Hall, I would have wanted to be able to go somewhere else.
Sure.
But if he wants to stay with a really bad team, it is life-changing money. So totally get that.
Yeah.
He gets 3 years, $46 million, about $15.3 million per year, 5th highest among running backs. I personally don't think he's a top 5 running back, but that's an average pay. Like, if a team paid that for Breece Hall, that's fine. It just doesn't make sense for where the Jets are in the rebuilding process to be paying a mid-age running back, but they can do them.
Yeah, I think, like you said, he's happy about it. They're happy about it. Great.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be happy if I was a Jets fan, but I'm not. So
Yeah, he's not winning you any more games than just not having
then
him.
he already would have.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, you've already been
you're going to lose anyway.
Yeah,
so,
it doesn't matter.
Agreed.
The Steelers did not end up meeting with Aaron Rodgers last weekend when he was in town. This is just it's just ongoing stupidness news.
Honestly,
just
it's kind of
nonstop.
embarrassing
It's just
on
not.
both ends.
Yeah.
Like, Aaron Rodgers, who do you think you are? Number one. Number two, it's like high school. Like when you have like a love interest, but the love interest is like in this case, Aaron Rodgers is like the high school quarterback, right?
Uh-huh.
That he's too cool to notice the shy girl with the glasses, right?
Uh-huh.
And the Steelers are the shy girl with the glasses, obviously, that's like consistent, not the best, not the worst, right? And he's just like passes her in the hall, but doesn't say anything. Like, it's so embarrassing, this whole situation. It's like a very, very bad.
Unfortunately, the Steelers don't really have any way to take off their glasses and all of a sudden get super hot.
Right.
They don't have that opportunity. So,
they're not Anne Hathaway.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, we will continue the saga that is
It's so stupid.
the Steelers being embarrassing.
Yeah. And Aaron Rodgers just sucking overall. Mm-hmm. Now, the latest news coming out of Minnesota, they signed Juwan Jennings, so they have a wide receiver 3 now.
Yeah.
Jennings wanted to prove he could be a wide receiver 1. Instead, he went to go be a wide receiver 3
Your boy.
No money. My boy. My hated boy. He gets 1 year, $8 million deal. All I want to say is I told y'all he's just a guy, and the rest of the NFL agreed with me. Now, the real news here I want to talk about is that they're saying Kyler Murray and JJ McCarthy will compete in training camp for the starting job. Do you believe any of that?
It's silly to say that out loud. Now, will they play them both?
Yeah.
Sure. But why?
And if JJ McCarthy ends up being amazing, then sure, like they'll let him play, but I don't think it's a true competition.
It can't be. I mean, at this point, he showed you what he was. He had a bunch of quarters where he was really bad. He had one where he was decent, and that's it. So to me, you know what you're getting with Kyler Murray. This feels like a very silly thing to come out and say, but let's see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I get they have to give the young kids some hope and say you can still compete. But if Kyler Murray can't beat out JJ McCarthy in training camp, then his career's over, officially over.
Yeah, has to be.
Yeah,
Has to be.
and I would immediately ask for my release and be like, let me go anywhere else, because if you can't beat out JJ McCarthy, I don't know what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
And one little last piece of news here, and I just hate this for fantasy. The Chargers ended up signing David Njoku to a 1-year deal worth up to $8 million. So Njoku stayed out there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Teams were not super interested. I'm sad about that because Aranda Gadsden, their rookie from last year, tight end, he showed a lot of flashes in year 1. I thought he could make a big year 2, but these veterans can just get really in these young guys' way.
Yeah.
Of like having the reps and getting the snaps and getting the opportunity. And even though it's a small deal, only 1 year, I still think Njoku is going to be out there too much and hurt Gadsden.
Yeah. I mean, I think you're right. I think, though, we have to see which way they go at the beginning of the season. Like, are they going to have Njoku start? Are they going to do a 2 tight end situation? I don't know their schemes and such. But, I mean, I think there is opportunity there. But Njoku feels like a really good insurance policy.
We are going to be talking more about the Chargers because I have Herbert on this list and quarterbacks. Is he going to get better than last year? Worse? The same? You'll have to wait and find out. We'll get into that right now.
Between the 20s.
All right, let's get into these quarterbacks. We're going to give you 2 quarterbacks each that will improve, 2 that will get worse, and 1 each that will stay the same. Nycole, I want you to start. I want you to tell me the top quarterback that will improve from last year.
Okay, I went with kind of a gimme. It's easy when somebody has a meh year to say they're going to improve. Oh, I wouldn't say meh about this person.
I was about to just yell at you.
I know. Calm down. But their team was very meh. So I went with Jaxson Dart. Okay. I know. He said he's going to come out and play how he plays, and he's not going to worry about getting hurt and things. But now you've got a coach in John Harbaugh who's coming in, and he's going to be in his ear and be like, hey, I need you to play this position the right way. Okay. I think that presence alone is going to shift the way that he operates. Number 2, he has more offensive weapons to throw the ball to this year.
Mm-hmm.
I think that will only help him get better. He rushed for 9 touchdowns last year. Now, was it because they didn't really have a running back? Probably. But I do think the upside for him is that I feel like he was rushing touchdowns because he had to, whereas I feel like this year he can be more deliberate in when he does that. And so that, I think, puts defenses on their heels because they don't know automatically that, like, he's going to run. I think now it gives a little more scheme and thought to the offense and the options that you have.
Jaxson Dart just looks like he has it.
Yes. And I think that's what's so appealing about him. I think if I was a Giants fan, I would be stoked about this season. They're easily going to, I think they could double their wins this year, right? Okay. Which is very exciting for a franchise. His completion rate was 63%, which is up there with some of, I want to say Jalen Hurts was around that number last year, and Lamar Jackson, some of these folks that, like, we say are elite quarterbacks.
Yeah.
His first rookie season was at that completion rate. So I think,
and that was with no weapons. He definitely needs to get that completion rate up because he's not as mobile as the Hurts and the Jackson, but he's still mobile. But he also, when your top guy is Wan'Dale Robinson and Darius Slayton and Theo Johnson,
guys.
So for him doing what he did last year with that group, when you give him Malik Neighbors and Isaiah Likely, and you add in, Darnell Mooney, it could be real good.
Yeah. So that was definitely my easiest and first pick for quarterbacks who will improve this year.
I love how we kind of both chose each other's guys, because I was like, I've been talking about Jaxson Dart too much this offseason. I won't talk about him here, but I completely agree with you. And then I took your Jayden Daniels. But I actually don't know if I would have thought this a couple weeks ago, but I was doing some research at work and writing about the Commanders and digging in. And I'm not worried about Jayden Daniels this year. I'll say my biggest worry is the change of OC because we just don't know what that's going to look like. But besides that, last year, his numbers, were way worse than his rookie numbers across the board. But if you just look at his first 4 starts, they actually weren't that different from his rookie year. He was on pace for nearly 30 touchdowns. He had 7 touchdowns, 1 interception in those first 4 starts, averaging over 260 total yards per game, nearly a 99 passer rating in those first starts. Those are all really close to the touchdowns were even more than what he was doing as a rookie. Now, it's those last 3 starts he had that really brought him down. And it was week 7, week 9, and week 14, because that's where he was starting to deal with all the injuries. And those games, atrocious. He had a 67 passer rating, only 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions in those games, 163 total yards per game. But he got injured in all 3 of those games.
Yeah.
So if you're just looking at the games before the injuries started to pile up, he was doing what he did as a rookie. And that was only playing 3 games with Terry McLaurin last year.
Right.
which Terry McLaurin and him had the highest passer rating among quarterback wide receiver duos in the league in 2024.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that.
So give him his guy back,
Mhm.
get them both healthy. And I think he's going to be out there again looking really, really good. I like that they added Antonio Williams in the draft in the 3rd round. I think he's a solid pick. Wish they had a little bit more weapons, but Chigakonko can be okay.
Yeah.
And Jayden Daniels can get it done this year. I just don't know if his defense can get it done to win too many games.
Sure.
But I do like the pieces they added.
Okay. Yeah. And I mean, I love Jayden Daniels. You're wearing my jersey
Okay.
of Jayden Daniels. So, I think I totally agree with you. I think for the Commanders and Jayden Daniels specifically, can his offensive line keep him safe and on the field? And can he make the right choices at the right time?
Mhm.
And that alone would exponentially increase his production this year.
I wish there was a way where it wasn't like everything was put on the shoulders of Daniels and McLaurin. It does seem like that's going to be the case. But I mean, they did it in 2024. They were killing it as a duo. So
Yeah.
they can do it.
Well, and the running back situation is
Yeah. They got a better pass. I mean, Rashad White is a really good pass catching running back.
true. So maybe that can open up things just enough.
Yeah.
To make a splash, but we'll see.
We'll see if they add Brandon Ayuk once he ever gets released by the 49ers.
True.
That could be a big addition if he has anything left in him.
Yeah.
If his knee has anything left. All right, go to your second guy that you think will improve the most.
Okay, so I went with somebody that I feel like in 2025 we were just let down by. And I think this is somebody that has the offensive weapons. It just felt like a lackluster year, and that is Mr. Jalen Hurts. Your boy.
My boy.
Your boy. Going to have a new offensive coordinator. That could go a lot of ways. I think it will just improve.
I don't think it can get worse than last year for the OC
Right.
issues. Yeah.
I think they've got that going on. Offensive line got to be healthier this year,
Mhm.
right? I think that's a huge piece for any quarterback. He's so good. This man is so good at avoiding turnovers. But I think sometimes, and especially last year, your risk aversion keeps you safe.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens then is on 3rd down, you play it safe and you hand it to Saquon Barkley, who did not have any kind of meaningful, really exciting, outstanding year last year. And you get the 2 yards when you needed 4 or whatever the situation. And then you go sit down, right? Or go to the sideline.
Mm-hmm.
And so I really think for Jalen Hurts to be better this year, he has to kind of step out of his own way of like perfection and take a little more risk, I think, on the field. And then you have the wide receiver room that I think is going to be, you had the whole AJ Brown debacle. He is soon going to be gone. I feel like we've been saying that for months now, from the Eagles. And I think adding the weapons that they did in the offseason and draft, I think it's just going to lighten things for the Eagles. Coming off of a win in 2024, there's not that burden of like, can we go back to back?
Mm-hmm.
I think things are going to loosen up and be a lot more fun and breathable in Philadelphia.
Yeah, and I don't think them losing AJ Brown, if it ends up coming to fruition like we all think it's going to, is that big of a deal. It might help Jalen Hurts because I feel like their relationship was really getting in the way. It just seemed like the relationship got destroyed over the last couple of years. They used to be besties. Working together has not seemed to work out for them. The headaches, the feeling like you need to target him or else he's going to be mad. So them getting Mekhi Lemon and moving on from AJ Brown and still having Devonta Smith and Dallas Goedert and Eli Stowers, who I love as a rookie tight end, he has enough weapons. Yeah. And Landon Dickerson, the tackle who missed half the season last year, that's the biggest key. He is older, but the stats with Dickerson on the field and without are massive for this offense and Hurts. Yeah. All right, I'm going with Justin Herbert for my next guy. And I feel like every year we want Herbert to get back to his first couple years in the league. And we keep saying it, right?
You keep saying it.
Okay. Well, this year I actually think it's going to happen. All right. He has everything to do it. It just hasn't been there. I mean, the last 4 seasons, the touchdowns have not been great for him. 26, 23, 20, 25. He needs to get back into the 30s, preferably 35 plus for us to really be like, okay, we can start talking about you in the categories with Joe Burrow and Josh Allen and Mahomes. But right now, he should not be talked in that way. And the reason I think that he can have such a better year, because I did feel like last year overall, he was looking really good. The Keenan Allen thing, I think, was a fail, which they did not re-sign him. So great.
Right.
But also his offensive line could not have been worse. It was terrible. And the reason for that was massive injuries to both his tackles. He did not have them pretty much the entire season. He didn't have Rashawn Slater all season long, and he didn't have Joe Alt for 11 games. So get those back automatically. But Herbert took 129 quarterback hits last year.
Oof.
He was one of 3 quarterbacks to be sacked at least 50 times last season. The other 2 quarterbacks combined for 5 wins. So the other 2 quarterbacks were Cam Ward and Geno Smith. And they had a 2-13 and 3-14 record. Justin Herbert, 11-5 record.
Wow.
So he still got through it, even though the line was so bad. The Chargers had 32 unique offensive line combinations last year, most in the NFL. 12 different offensive linemen started a game for them last year, most in the NFL. And like I said, those tackles missing and coming back are going to be huge. So if he can do it, he was able to look productive in the first year under John Harbaugh. And now the second year, give him some protection. And with Mike McDaniel now, I really love Mike McDaniel as a play caller.
Yeah.
So you get Mike McDaniel in there, get him a good offensive line, get him a Marion Hampton back so you have a run game. I think Herbert could be a sneaky MVP candidate this year.
Oh my gosh. I think you're taking a little too big of a leap there, but we'll see.
The league wants Herbert. So if Herbert has a good year, they are going to really push for him to be MVP candidate. They want him to be it so bad.
Yeah. Maybe. I just feel like you did the exact same thing last year. And you're like, I mean, not Justin Herbert necessarily specifically, but the Chargers specifically of they're just going to be, this is their year. They're going to be, and then they did the exact same thing that they always do.
Let me give you a stat real quick, and then we'll finish up with Herbert. But with Joe Alt on the field last year, he had 108 passer rating compared to 87 without him. He had only 3 interceptions compared to 10 with him off the field. 11 touchdowns to 15, but a lot more games with Alt not on the field. His passing yards per attempt went up by almost 2 yards per attempt, and his sack percentage went down by almost 2% with Alt on the field. So just Alt alone, and then you add Slater, and you add Mike McDaniel as a play caller. He's going to be elite.
That's a lot of stats.
My dad right now is hating it. He hates stats. I'm like, do you know that's my entire job?
That's how I make my living.
Yeah. He's like, no, I want to just have opinions. No factual evidence allowed. Not anything that could hurt my opinion. All right.
Well, we'll see.
Let's move into the negatives because this is more fun for me anyways.
This is where we thrive.
This is where we shine. All right. Who's your first guy? And I love it.
I got T. Lawrence to start us off with.
He was a consideration for me.
Yeah, I mean, he had the 2025 season that was surprising. I think, they kept winning games, and you kept looking at the screen, and you're like, the Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence is running with a ball, he's actually a rushing threat. Who is this guy? Because he's just been so underwhelming.
Did we ever figure out if his hair photo was AI or real?
It was AI.
It was AI.
I believe.
Okay.
He looked a lot better. So
did.
if you're listening, you should probably do that. But he's probably not, and he probably won't. But we can dream.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I would say Lawrence had a surprisingly really good quarterback season. He extended a lot more plays this year. He, like I said, scrambled a lot more, increased his rushing yards, and his rushing touchdowns. I think that is probably the biggest stat. He had a bunch. I don't know the number because I'm not the stats girl, but I know it was a lot. Teams aren't just going to give you that this year, though. I think now, in light of what they saw last year, people are going to be like, okay, we know now he apparently can do this. Well, what doesn't he have this year? Travis Etienne, who opens up a lot of that opportunity for him, right? And I just don't know that Tootin is enough as a running back to open things up like that. And maybe he will. And I'm just being a Debbie Downer over here, hoping that the Jaguars aren't that good. but I don't think he's going to have as much opportunity as he did last year. And so, the other factor for me is like it took them a long time for he and Brian Thomas Jr. to start connecting. I feel like Jacoby Myers never really got going last year. Like I think he can.
Mm-hmm.
So I really think Trevor Lawrence has to hone in on that early in the season. If he doesn't do that, I don't think he's going to be as much of a threat as he was last year.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's like Brian Thomas Jr. has to be better, you would think.
Right.
Has to be. So then you're like, okay, Trevor Lawrence should be better. But I agree with you. Like things just seem to really work out for the whole Jaguars team that second half of last year. And maybe it continues to click, but I would not be shocked at all if Trevor Lawrence gets worse this year and from last year and gets back to like what he's been doing in the NFL all the years prior to that. Now, mine is going to be Jordan Love. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to just hate on the Packers and Jordan Love, but
it's all you do.
I fully think he's going to get worse. So I had to put him here. I mean, he has been getting worse each year. He's been a starter and they've been taking less and less off his plate. But like year one, I feel like everyone was so excited because like, oh my goodness, he threw over 30 touchdowns. Ooh, he had 579 pass attempts. His passing touchdown rate was pretty normal at 5.5. I mean, it's good. It's solid, not elite. It went down to 5.2 in 2025. But the issue is now all of a sudden, they're only passing the ball. He only had 439 pass attempts last year because they want to run the ball. They want to lean on defense a little bit more. But his passing yards per attempt have also gone down. His rushing has pretty much gone away completely. I don't understand that because the thing with Jordan Love is like, okay, he has mobility. He can be athletic and get away from the pocket. But the last 2 years, he has one total rushing touchdown combined and only 282 rushing yards combined over the last 2 years. It doesn't make sense when year one, he had 4 rushing touchdowns and 247 rushing yards. He just completely took that out of his game.
Yeah.
Then they take away his top target from last year in Romeo Doubs. They let him leave to go to New England. They trade away Dontavian Wicks, who was his 4th most targeted guy last year. They're going to lean all of a sudden on Christian Watson and Jayden Reed, who really struggled to stay on the field.
Yeah.
And like I like them too as talents. I mean, Watson struggles to catch the ball consistently, and then Matthew Golden, who stunk as a rookie, a first-round pick last year.
Yeah.
And should have never been a first-round pick. And then Tucker Kraft is coming off a torn ACL.
Right.
So weapons are scary. And then let's talk about the offensive line. He lost 2 starting offensive linemen, which he has been protected very, very well. He rarely takes sacks, which you have to give credit to Love for. He gets the ball out of his hands before he takes sacks. But his offensive line has also been solid. They lost their starting left tackle, Rasheed Walker. They lost their starting center, Elkin Jenkins. 2 really, really good guys. And per Next Gen Stats over the last 2 seasons, the only quarterbacks who have a worse passer rating under pressure than Love are Joe Flacco and Bo Nix. Right after Jordan Love is Geno Smith. Yeah. He has the worst completion percentage under pressure over the last 2 years. So put that man under pressure, which he rarely is under, he folds. Now you'll lose 2 guys. You have 2 new starters coming in, and you take away any of his weapons. I think it could be a really ugly year for Jordan Love.
I'm convinced by those stats.
Thank you.
No, I think you're right. I think we started to see it at the end of last year, and you called it last year. You said, we had that episode where we talked about overrated and underrated teams, and the Packers were your underrated team that you just
overrated team.
Sorry, overrated team that you. Whoa.
Yeah, do not put that on me.
Whoa. And you stuck by it even when some things were like, well, I don't know. But it proved to be true that they just weren't as good as people, were ranting and raving that they would be. So I don't disagree with you. I think you're totally justified in that if the man's under pressure, it is not good.
No.
So yeah, I think that's probably a really solid pick.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think so too. I think if I lose a bet, I probably have to get a Jordan Love jersey and do something in it.
Over Sam Darnold?
I think so.
Wow.
Because at least like Sam
Good
Darnold
for
gets
Sam.
hated on by a lot of people. Jordan Love is just like obsessed over for no reason.
Yeah.
It's like he's not
I feel
that
like that's
good.
just like
He's
Packers
fine.
fans, so, yeah.
He's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Your next one to get worse this year. This is a hard one. This is your hottest take yet.
This is a hot take, and I don't love the take. Like, I don't love it in the sense I don't want it to be true.
Okay.
but something in me just tells me it is.
Okay.
And so, with a heavy heart, no, I'm just kidding. I picked Caleb Williams. And I know you're rolling your eyes at me and you're like, this girl doesn't know football. But listen.
Doesn't know ball.
Didn't know ball. Listen, he was awesome and had a great turnaround year under Ben Johnson for his first year there with the Bears. Okay. They went from 5-12 to 11-6 pretty quickly, pretty impressively. Okay. And I know when you look at the numbers and you just look at the schedule in the win-loss column, it looks like the Bears were just absolutely awesome. But we know, because we know ball, that a lot of those games were the last play/run of the game. Caleb Williams does something very exciting and flashy and chunks the ball, and it went their way.
Yes, Southerners say chunk instead of chuck.
So
it's weird, I know.
So I just don't think that's sustainable. And so I think what's going to happen is they're going to start losing a couple games that last year they would have won because they were those last minute, things. And I think he's going to get a little down on himself and be like, what's happening? I thought I was doing good, whatever. And then we've talked about it. Their offseason was less than stellar. If not, their team is worse, right? I don't think they're setting him up for success in that who he's going to throw the ball to. Their wide receiver room at the moment is less than impressive. And I just think he's going to have so much harder of a time keeping the ball in play, keeping the team, even though their defense is awesome, keeping the team offensively going. And I think he will have a worse season this year.
Yeah, it's so hard because it's like he should be better in the second year under Ben Johnson, and his completion percentage last year was already insanely low. And he still looked okay even with the inconsistency there.
Sure,
but I feel like I could see a letdown from the Bears too. It's just the Bears, unfortunately. I think Chicago fans understand that. Like, I don't think they're going to be shocked if they get let down either.
Right, and I again, I think they're fun and exciting, and I want him to do well. I'm just worried that it's like we're up here and we're coming off an 11-win season. And I do think it will dip and people will start pointing the finger. And really and truly, we'll have to see how does he weather that.
Yeah, I like it. All right, my guy, and this is probably really easy, but you will say no because you love him for whatever reason. It's Daniel Jones. And I mean, this feels like just taking candy from a baby of how easy this take is. The dude has never been good in his career, really. He had that one kind of good year with the Giants when they made it to the playoffs with a 9-7 record or whatever it was. But last year, starting with the Colts, definitely by far his best start of a year ever. But now he's coming off a torn ACL. Or is it Achilles? I think it's Achilles.
I have no idea.
Torn Achilles. And the mobility is going to be lacking this year. It has to be. And so much of his productivity comes with using his legs. He's a sneaky good runner. But also, let's just take the injury out of it. He already was starting to regress back to his usual play before the injury, about a month before the injury. So first 8 games of the year, he had a 71 completion percentage, 8.5 yards per pass attempt, 17 touchdowns, 110 passer rating. The Colts were averaging nearly 34 points per game, and they had a 7-1 record. Now, his last 4 full games played. So I'm not even counting the game he got hurt because that's not fair. He left early. Last 4 full games he played, that 71 completion percentage drops down to 62. His 8.5 yards per attempt dropped down to 7.3. He only had 7 touchdowns during that span. His passer rating dropped from 110 to 86. The Colts were only averaging 21.8 points per game, and they lost 3 of those 4 games.
Now, and this is where I would say stats are great until you know the context. Like, do you have what teams they played in those 4 games?
I wish I did because I meant to,
Okay.
But this is, well, the Steelers were one of them. The Falcons were one of them. The Titans, I think, were one of them. I don't have.
Okay, that's fair.
It's the Texans were one of them. Texans, Falcons, Steelers were definitely 3 of the 4.
Okay.
I don't know what the 4th game was. But why I wanted the teams is because the first 8 games were against the easiest of teams. So really, I was going to bring it for that. That's why he was performing very well and the team was performing. He was already going down. Then they take away Michael Pittman, their volume receiver. Alec Pierce now, who's a deep threat, has to be their wide receiver 1. We don't know if he can be that. He had 47 receptions last year, a career year. That's it, 47 receptions.
Yes, but every reception he had was like
a
bomb.
But that's not going to be able to work when you don't have other wide receivers to let him get open.
I mean, that's fair, but I thought Alec Pierce was really impressive.
Well, he was, but not for a wide receiver 1.
Okay, well, you're just dogging on him, and I just think it's a little unwarranted.
And then they took away his starting right tackle, and Braden Smith goes to the Texans.
Yeah.
And now a 4th-round pick from last year has to go into the starting role. These guys can be good. It's just a lot of question marks.
Yeah.
And Daniel Jones is going to be garbage. He's going to be so bad. Like he's going to be so bad.
I hope he's not.
Yes, you do. Because the Colts are in your division, your Texans division.
As long as we beat them, I don't care what else happens.
No, Daniel Jones is going to be so bad.
I don't think he's going to drop off that much.
Do you know how bad he was before coming to the Colts?
Here's the thing, though, too. I don't love the guy. I just think you don't give him any credit, and I think he's due a little bit of credit.
I think he's a bottom 8 quarterback in the league.
Who do you think is going to be worse next year, Daniel Jones or Jordan Love?
Daniel Jones, for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
But that's not even a question.
Do you think Daniel Jones is in the bottom 5 of quarterbacks?
I said bottom 8, but
8. Okay.
Yeah, maybe bottom 5.
So bottom 4th.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Man, I want to put a little money on that, I think.
Okay.
I think I do. We'll see.
Okay. Maybe I'll have to buy a Daniel Jones jersey. That would be the most embarrassing jersey to ever own in life. That's worse than Aaron Rodgers. All right, one more category to get here. We're just naming one quarterback each for this one. One quarterback that will stay the same from last year. Who do you got?
Okay.
You wouldn't tell me.
I wouldn't tell you because I think it's funny to not tell you.
Okay.
Because I picked Baker Mayfield.
Okay.
And honestly, I wanted to put him on the gets worse list.
I almost put him on the get better, but I changed it to Herbert.
That is so funny. I wish you would have put him on the got better, and I would have put him on the got worse, just for the sake of the plot.
Okay.
Here's the thing. He's just a dude with flashy plays. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. His numbers are fine. Everything's fine. His team is always meh. Who's he going to throw the ball to? Number 1 this year.
Emeka Egbuka, Jalen McMillan,
Besides
Tez Johnson.
Besides Emeka Egbuka, Cade Otton, and now they have Gainwell, which I think is a good choice.
Mm-hmm.
I think Baker Mayfield is fine. I think he's going to be just like he was last year, where you wanted him. First of all, they did at the beginning of the season win a lot of games right at the end there, and then it fell off, and then they were terrible, and it was like, see, told ya.
3 offensive linemen missed more than 5 games, or 5 or more games for the Buccaneers last year, including Tristan Wirfs and Gedeke. I know I said that wrong. Luke Gedeke or whatever it is. Love him though. I do. I really do. I just don't know how to say his name.
Yeah.
And then another guard was missing, another starting guard.
Sure.
Then they had Mike Evans miss a lot of games. They had Chris Godwin miss a lot of games. They had Jalen McMillan miss almost the whole season. Mm-hmm. And Emeka Egbuka played through an injury. He was amazing before the injury. And now they get him. The Josh Grizzard experiment didn't work at OC. And they promoted him after losing their last 2 OCs because Baker got them a head coaching job, and Dave Canales and Liam Cohen. Mm-hmm. And now they're moving on to a different OC, Zach Robinson from the Falcons, which I think is a good get for them.
Okay.
I think Baker could have a better year.
Well, you didn't add him. You didn't have
because I felt more confident in Herbert. Yeah.
So, which is so silly. So, I'm just saying he's going to be exactly what he was.
Okay.
And is.
I'm going to go with Bo Nix because he will be exactly what he is. What he is. He's a solid starting quarterback in the Broncos system.
Yes.
I think if he got drafted most other places, he would have been a failure. But he got drafted to a very friendly system. Now you could say that a lot of quarterbacks, like the system you go to does matter a lot. But he's a solid starting quarterback, nothing more, nothing less. And honestly, everything went down in year 2 from year 1. His completion percentage went down by 3%. His yards per pass attempt went down. Passing touchdowns went down. Passer rating went down. His rushing yards per carry went down. The Broncos' points per game went down last year from his rookie year. And I just don't know what's going to change for him because he just does what Sean Payton tells him to do.
Yeah.
His yards per pass attempt rank at the bottom of the league over the last 2 seasons. Only Bryce Young has averaged fewer yards per pass attempt over the last 2 years than Bo Nix among quarterbacks with at least 700 pass attempts. He struggles under pressure. I just brought up the stat with Jordan Love. It was Flacco and Bo Nix were the only guys worse than Jordan Love under pressure. He's the definition of a game manager to me.
Yeah.
And I don't care that they got Jalen Waddle because he's only going to play every other play anyways.
I have a crazy question for you.
What?
Do you think that the Texans would do well with Bo Nix? Because the quote unquote problem or issue that people say about CJ Stroud is he's not a game manager.
It just depends on, is Bo Nix so good? Because if you put him in the Kyle Shanahan system too, that's going to work out. It's just I don't know if they have the right system for Bo Nix to succeed.
Yeah.
Or because Bo Nix used to, try too hard in college too and throw deep balls and all this stuff and make mistakes, but they don't really let him do that with Denver.
Yeah.
The Texans, I could see him just going out there and making mistakes as well.
Yeah.
But with Sean Payton, it's no, you're going to be my game manager.
Regimented.
Yeah.
Fair. Okay.
That's it. But we still do have one more category. We're going to get to quarterbacks in our 2-minute warning. And it's which quarterback is going to lose their starting job in or after the 2026 season, besides Daniel Jones, because that's already set in stone.
2-minute warning.
The guy that's going to lose his job finally. He's been given many years. It's going to be Bryce Young of the Panthers. And I feel like the team really wants him to work out. I mean, they did give up a lot for him. And they didn't end up getting Caleb Williams because they traded up to take Bryce Young and all that. And he's getting slightly better each year, but still not good. He's just still not good. You can move up little tiny inches and get slightly better, but still even last year, people are going to be well, they made the playoffs at 8-9 and he was 8-8. They were averaging 18.9 points per game in the games he started last year. That's towards the bottom of the league. They've never averaged more than 20.3 points per game in a season with him as a starter. Sooner or later, the Panthers have to look at him and say, because he's going to have to get paid after this year. It's or I guess pay him a lot in the 5th-year option. Is he worth it? No, he's not. His best outcome is he becomes a average quarterback, and that's his best outcome. And right now he's just bottom of the league. And even if he starts getting slightly better, it's going to take him 12 years to get good, I guess, at this rate.
Okay.
I think he loses his job. Doesn't mean he won't get another starting job elsewhere or a chance, but I think he'll be done with the Panthers after this. Even though I think they did take his 5th-year option, so I don't know how that works. But either way, the Panthers are going to want to move on from him after this year if they can or can't.
Okay. I definitely don't agree with that, so we'll see. But
wow, you love bad quarterbacks. That makes sense why you have hopes for CJ Stroud.
Well, here's the
I like Stroud.
I know. Sure. I think though for Carolina, at least they have a quarterback. Unlike your team,
I would much rather not have a quarterback than have Bryce Young.
That's hilarious.
Because then you're just stuck with hoping this guy can get better.
You're stuck with no one. You literally don't have anything.
But
it's
embarrassing. At least they can go look for someone else next year. Not be thinking about paying Bryce Young, who's not good.
Oh my
god. It's a good quarterback class next year.
Embarrassing.
That's why the Panthers would move on from Young too, because it's a good quarterback class.
So I chose for the quarterback that is likely to lose their starting job in or after this season. I cheated. I'm going to be honest. Because I chose 2 franchises instead of a quarterback.
Okay.
Because that's just who I am. I picked the Steelers and the Browns because the Steelers don't even have a quarterback. If they do end up with some deal with Aaron Rodgers, surely it's not more than 1 year. That would be
nobody wants that.
Insane. And number 2, even if you get him for a year, he's not going to be there and you have nothing else. It's not like they have somebody in the system that they just need another year to say, hey, buddy, learn from this guy, right? They literally don't know what they're doing. It's so embarrassing.
Well, people would say Drew Aller, they just drafted, and Will Howard, for whatever reason, people are obsessed with, 6th-round pick last year. But I mean, I agree with you. I agree with you.
Again, nobody's, okay, at this point.
Okay.
Then you have the Browns. And they don't know what they're doing with a quarterback. I think you have the question mark of Deshaun Watson. If he starts, what is he going to look like? I know the last time he played football. I think I was in high school. I'm just kidding. I wasn't, but it was a long, long time ago.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And then you have Shedeur Sanders, who you already know what you have with him. They have no offensive weapons for these people to even throw it to. So
Well, they're trying. They just drafted 2 guys early.
yes, but again, I don't think it's going to be enough for whoever ends up being the quarterback to stay in that position. And then the Browns will be in the exact same position they've been in for 30 years.
Well, Watson definitely won't be there. I cannot imagine, unless he has an MVP type season coming back and all this. But this is the last year finally of his deal. They are dying for this to be over with.
I'm sure.
Yeah. And I don't think Sanders is going to be the long-term.
Unless
That's
he
not either.
made some remarkable differences in this offseason
Yeah.
and trained a bunch and all these things, I think the Browns are going to be stuck in the exact same position they have been.
Yeah. And one more guy that I was hoping you chose was Malik Willis. I just think
You just pick these guys, I feel like, to fail.
no,
And
I'm
then-
not trying to pick Malik Willis to fail. He has nothing. They gave him nothing. He has no wide receivers at all or tight ends.
But to me, that's not a reflection of him.
no, but that's if he struggles in year 1 and they're losing all these games, people aren't really going to. They're just going to move on from him.
I don't think so. I think if somebody goes out there and shows promise, there's just nobody to like throwing the ball to, or like you can tell he's like doing the right
You didn't
things.
watch Malik Willis in Tennessee. He was bad.
We're going to agree to disagree on Malik Willis, and we're going to see about halfway through the season who was right and who was wrong.
Daniel Jones and Malik Willis will have won like one game halfway through the season. Maybe
Oh.
one game combined.
Oh my gosh, you're so dramatic.
All right, that is it for today's episode. Next week let's just do the same exercise, but with a different position. Wide receivers, running backs. I don't know. We have the
Wide
week-
receivers, that's
Yeah.
where we'll go.
All right, we'll do wide receivers next week. So make sure you subscribe and follow so you don't miss any of our episodes. And please leave us a review because that will help us grow. That'll be huge. We really appreciate it. Have a great weekend, everybody. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to The Analyst in the Armchair. Don't forget to subscribe, follow us on socials, leave us a review, and comment to let us know what you'd like to hear next time.